like to extend a warm welcome to our charge ma'am, teachers and fellow students who are gathered here today. Your presence makes this event more special and I am grateful to have each and every one of you here.
Today we have come together to celebrate democracy. Democracy gives us the right to vote to elect our representatives, and these representatives make policies and laws for better management and administration of our country's resources and wealth.
Parliament is the temple of democracy. Today we are going to witness an insight into the working parliament. This parliament develops in new leadership skills, civic awareness and deeper understanding of democratic principles.
Before this youth parliament begins its functioning, let us all stand, take a pledge. India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall always strive to be worthy of it. I shall give respect to my parents, teachers, and all others, and treat everyone with courtesy to my country and my people. I pledge my devotion in their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness. Jai Hind.
Without any further delay, we will begin our youth parliament.
Honorable members, let me recall the inspiring quote of our first female president, Srimati Pratibha Patil. Parliamentary of the country is the responsibility of the sovereign will of the people, and its successful functioning is a joint responsibility of both the government and the opposition. It is important that the decorum and the dignity of the House is upheld at all times. The image of Parliament in the public mind should be one where proceeding debate, discussions take place with a view to resolve issues through a constructive and cooperative approach. Secretary General, please.
Honorable Speaker, the House is as follows. Affirmation by the new member of the House. Question asked, coordinated and notice. Farmers will debate on the new education policy. Passing of the new education policy bill.
Member to take the oath or affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Srimati Anita, who elected from the Gorakhpur constituency of Uttar Pradesh, will now take oath or affirmation. Madam, do you want oath or affirmation? Oath, please. In which language would you like oath?
मैं मीका जो लोकसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ। मैं निष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ कि मैं विद्यार्थी स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अशुद्ध रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वाह करूंगी। जय हिंद।
Srimati Srimati Sonakshi, who stands elected from the Daksin constituency of West Bengal, will now take oath. Madam, do you want to take oath of affirmation? Oath, please. In which language would you like to take oath? In Hindi, please.
मैं शरणार्थी जो लोकसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ, सत्य निष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित देश भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अशोषण रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूँ, इस पद को मैं उसकी कर्तव्य का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगी। जय हिंद।
Honorable members, as we meet today, it is hard to say, but it is my sad duty to inform the House about the demise of our former colleague, Sri Suresh Chandra. He was an agriculturist by profession and an active social worker. He worked in the rural areas, devoting his time and energy to the welfare of agricultural laborers and the uplife of the backward and the downtrodden. He was president of Mazdoor Sabha, Mirzapur. He was also a great orator, as his famous line in our house was, "सो जाते हैं फुटपाथ पे अखबार बिछाकर, मजदूर कभी नींद की गोली नहीं खाया करते." This beautiful line was written by Sri Suresh Chandra ji. He passed away at New Delhi on 30 January 2024 at the age of 55.
Madam, I rise to pay my tribute to Sri Suresh Chandra, whose death has been deeply mourned by all. He was a young man who came from a family of freedom fighters, whose father had made a name for himself, and this tradition was carried by his family. He was with us to very last moment. He seemed to be well and happy, and therefore the shock of his passing away was all the greater. He had a bright future before him. I should like to extend my deep condolences to his family.
Madam, I associate myself with the tributes paid by you and the leader of the house. I had the privilege to work with Suresh Chandra as a colleague. He was a person who, because of his lovable nature, never annoyed anyone and was a very open-hearted person. We have lost a very good social worker, political worker, and a public man in him. I would like to associate myself and my party in sending our condolences to the needy family.
The House will stand in silence for while to express our deep sorrow. Introduce new minister to the House.
Honorable Speaker, it is my immense pleasure to introduce you to the House of our new minister, Ms. Sonakshi, Minister of Women and Minority Welfare, Ms. Anita, Minister of Sport and Khelo India, Sri Tushar Raja, Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ms. Alisha Azhar, Minister of Finance, Ms. Alicia Yadav, Minister of Petroleum.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Now there is an information of the House that now we can start the question of this parliamentary session. Question number 100, Mr. Harshit Maurya.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, रोटी कपड़ा और मकान के साथ साथ सरकार को ये कब समझ आएगा कि पेट्रोल भी आज की 21वीं सदी के लोगों की मूलभूत आवश्यकता का हिस्सा है। Honorable Speaker, it is good to see that our country progressing at a high speed. We see that the automobile industry has been multiplying its production, especially the two-wheeler sector. Today it has become a two-wheeler whether you live in urban or rural community. My question is to the Honorable Minister of Petroleum: why there has the continuous increased rise of prices in petrol, which is a basic necessity for citizens? Whether the government has concerned with the rise in petrol prices, and if yes, what steps are being taken to reduce the rise in price and save common man from becoming more poor?
Yes, Minister of Petroleum, please.
Honorable Speaker, first of all, I am the honorable member of opposition to recognize that the country is progressive. Let me put it strictly in order to push the crude prices up even lower demand. OPEC and allies, including Russia, had cut oil production by 9.7 million barrels per day in May 2023. To further boost prices, Saudi Arabia decided to cut the output by 1 million barrels per day. Our government has urged oil producers to ease the cut on crude oil production so that price-sensitive Indian consumers get relief on fuel front. We expect that in near future we would find a solution for the crisis, and we also invite your suggestions. If you have any, our aim is the security, safety and welfare of our citizens.
Question number 101, Mr. Rohit Yadav.
गृहमंत्री से हमारा सवाल था कि सीमा पर हमले के जवान रोज शहीद हो रहे हैं। सरकार की तरफ से कौन कदम उठाया गए? सरकार आतंकी के उचित जवाब काहे नहीं देते?
Yes, Home Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, it's based on 4 key that are prevent people becoming terrorists or supporting terrorists. Pursue will stop terrorist attack happening. Protect will strengthen protection against the terrorist attack. Prepare to minimize the impact of terrorist attack.
Madam Speaker, India's unemployment rate has skyrocketed to a staggering 27.1% since the beginning of lockdown, especially in metropolitan cities. An estimate 12.2 crore people have lost their jobs due to COVID-19 pandemic. There are several instances where employees lost their jobs and faced massive figures. My question to Minister of Labour and Employment and Minister of Skill Development: what steps have been taken by the government to overcome with unemployment and provide employment to unemployed?
Respected Madam, we are concerned with rising unemployment due to COVID pandemic. Our government has taken a number of steps, including for migrant workers across India. Labour falls in the concurrent list, and therefore both state and central government can legislate on the issues. Even in our budget 2022 and 2023, we have made digital data and technology as the core of the 6 pillars of Road to Fuel India's Atmanirbhar vision. मैडम स्पीकर, बेरोजगारी की चिंता का विषय है, पर मैं या मेरी सरकार 140 करोड़ भारतीय को यह सुनिश्चित करता हूँ कि रोजगार का अधिकार है और वो उनको मिलता रहेगा।
Question number 103, yes, Ananya Patel.
Honorable Speaker Madam, इस सदन को पता होगा भारतीय इतिहास में लॉर्ड कर्जन के नाम का एक वॉर जो आया था। उसकी नीति ने दुनिया को ये दिखाया कि लोगों में फूट डालो और राज करो। We are not able to understand, divide and rule policy of ruling government. My question is why the resolution policy is not extended to engineering and other undergraduate and postgraduate medical course. The government talks one nation, one education. We demand one nation, one reservation for all. I need answer, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, the All India Quota scheme was introduced in 1986 under the direction of Supreme Court to provide progressively merit-based opportunities to students to aspire and study in a good medical college located in another state. Madam Speaker, right to education is a fundamental right of every citizen, and no one should be deprived of it depending on the availability of seats in quotas in other states. We would take
since March 2020. In order to prevent the spread of the virus, conventional classrooms shifted to online mode, which primarily impacted teacher and students' close interaction and making pandemia shift in the teaching learning process across India. Almost population have been affected due to this pandemic. Honorable Speaker, this pandemic has created a new crisis, the education system. Madam Speaker, what steps have been taken to resolve this issue? Question number 104, the Machine.
Madam Speaker, the access of education has been restricted to those who have resources and whose parents are educated. The sudden shift to online learning without any planning. Countries like India, where the backbone for online learning was not ready and the curriculum was not designed. Such a format has created the risk. I believe risk of most of our students becoming passive learners. I demand an answer, Madam Speaker.
Question number 140, Muhammad Ali.
Madam Speaker, the sudden and new forceful online pattern have put illiterate parents in the state of helplessness. These poor parents are unable to help their children in education. Please answer.
Question number 140, Latiksha.
Closure of schools had a huge impact on the education of girls as parents are facing financial crisis due to loss of income. Many poor parents, especially from rural areas, are forced to stop their children to go to school, especially girl child. The midday meal provision is a great blessing to many students in India. Madam, closure of schools during lockdown made many children were deprived and malnourished. Please answer.
Question number 140, Prakti.
मैडम स्पीकर, जब पूरे आजाद गगन में खुशियों के आपार चमन में शिक्षा का परचम लहराएगा, भारत शिक्षित कहलाएगा, भारत शिक्षित कहलाएगा। शिक्षा का महत्व समझकर, इसका असली अर्थ समझकर जो शिक्षित हो जाएगा वह जग को जीत जाएगा, वह जग को जीत जाएगा। पर सवाल फिर से वही है स्पीकर महोदया, क्या ये सब बिना शिक्षा के हो पाएगा? Madam Speaker, I want to present a state front of this house. Over 1.5 million schools across India closed down due to the pandemic. A switch to large-scale digital education is not possible now. If this condition prevails for another year, there would be huge impact of the quality of education and consistency in qualitative human resource. We request the Honorable Prime Minister to answer on these serious issues.
Madam Speaker, education plays a crucial role in the child's life. It helps in shaping his career and contributed to the human capital and economic growth. We have created such an educational digital platform that students across India, no matter where they live, can have access to them. Our Ministry of Education has held several with the state and union territories at various levels and taken money to ensure that the school-going students do not lag behind in their studies during COVID-19 pandemic. We introduced some of the schemes like PM Vidya Diksha, Sunprabha, that no one should get excluded. Madam Speaker, अब विश्व में वो अनपढ़ नहीं होगा जो पढ़ न पाएगा, अनपढ़ वो होगा जो नहीं जानेगा कि सीखा कैसे जाता है. And I am confident that the children of today are capable enough to overcome the crisis and will stand strongly and readily to regain the lost period of education with hope and courage. शिक्षा का उद्देश्य है युवाओं को खुद को जीना प्रशिक्षित करने के लिए तैयार करना. थैंक यू.
बधाई देना चाहता हूँ यहाँ बैठे सभी माननीय का जब 140 करोड़ की आबादी का अपना भारत परिवार और पूरे विश्व लोकतंत्र के मंदिर जिसे संसद कहते हैं वह सवाल जवाब किसी सिलसिले को देखेगा तो उनको यकीन होगा कि भारत को क्यों लोकतंत्र का उत्पत्ति बिंदु कहा जाता है। यह देख हर भारतीय का सीना गर्व से चौड़ा कर देगा। Now, coming to the topic, we believe in safe and healthy India. Now, of the future. Madam, I request my fellow members to cooperate and encourage our future citizens and utilize to the various means of digital means of communities of education and not to the it may be political issue when concerned with the health and safety of our children.
Question number 105, Unnati Singh.
Madam, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, the time by when the digitalization process of the PDS scheme would be completed and by when the remaining periods of in the state of Odisha would be computerized. What measure is the Union Government taking to enhance the quality and quantity of items distributed under the PDS scheme?
Honorable Speaker, Madam, our department aims to bring transparency and help the consumer. We are working to ensure that ration is available at the right time. For this, complete digitalization is required, has been done as far as Odisha is concerned and the Honorable Member has asked. In Odisha, also about 99% ration cards have been linked to Aadhaar. For this, our government and the ministry has a very big goal so that our beneficiaries, no matter where they go, at least ration can be received at the right time.
Question number 100, Soumya Shukla.
अध्यक्ष महोदया, मैं परिधान मंत्री जी से ध्यान दीजिएगा, प्रधानमंत्री नहीं परिधान मंत्री। जिस देश की 50% आबादी खेती से जुड़ी है, वहाँ ये सरकार लोगों को अनाज के दाने दाने के लिए तरसा रही है। यह कानून हानिकारक होगा क्योंकि ये सरकार निरंकुश निर्णय ले रही है, क्योंकि अनाज 140 करोड़ जनसंख्या का मौलिक अधिकार है। मैडम स्पीकर, मैं रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी की पंक्तियों के माध्यम से अपना विचार व्यक्त करती हूँ। दो न्याय अगर तो आधा दो, यदि इसमें भी हो बाधा तो दे दो, केवल 5 ग्राम रखो अपनी धरती तमाम। हम वही खुशी से खाएंगे, परिजन पर असीना उठाएंगे। दुर्योधन वहाँ भी दे न सका, आशीष समाज के ले न सका। उल्टे हरि को बांधने चला, जो था असाध्य साधने चला। जब नाश मनुष्य पे छाता है, पहले विवेक मर जाता है। मैडम स्पीकर, I consider the thinking power of this government is getting worse, and I want this house to please stop this bill to get passed.
Question 106, Madam Mishra.
Madam, I have two supplementary questions. My first question is whether there is any borrowing limits fixed for state and the center. If so, what are the details? Secondly, I want to know whether any state government has requests for allowing them to borrow beyond the limit in the case of emergency. If so, what are the details?
Minister of State for Finance, Aradhana Malhotra, absent. Question 106B, Rachit Kesarwani.
Madam, the minister has given a detailed plan, but the fact is that due to high level of debt of government, the investment has came down. It was as high as 39% of GDP. It came down to 32% of GDP in 2022 and 23. The reply states that the overall investment in economy was consolidated at 29.2% in 2023 and 20 and has improved to 29.8%. Obviously, the minister has stated in his reply that this is due to pandemic, lower collection and NPA in the bank, which the government is trying to set. May I ask the Labour Minister as to when, as per the government estimate, investment will go up to 39% as it happened in 2011 and 12. What are the further steps being taken by the government in this regard? Investment is very low and all the thoughts of the government has not resulted in investment going up.
Respected members of the House and my friends, as far as investment is concerned, it will be discussed in detail in the North House has been placed on the table. We have also said in a reply that the government of India has made a lot of reform, whether it may be bring IDC code, if GST. We spent heavily on infrastructure during COVID. If we see a decline in investment during COVID, today investment has continued to increase. It is increasing. Certainly we will achieve the percentage of investment for the year 2011-12 very soon.
Question 107, Garima Maurya.
Madam, the world is racing towards net zero emission and adopting clean energy independence. Our Honorable Prime Minister made a statement at COP26 summit and set a target to make our country, India country with net zero emission by 2070. We have a target of 500 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030, but we are far from our target. The pollution level across the cities in India are increasing and Delhi has a plus condition. We all know this fact. There is an urgent need for capacity addition of green energy to reduce pollution levels. Will the government propose to utilize this land and allot it for the purpose of solar, wind and pumped storage projects to produce renewable energy?
Honorable Speaker Madam, contrary to what Honorable Member has said, we are well on our way to achieve our target. Our established capacity is about 186,000 megawatts of non-fossil fuels. Another about 114,000 megawatt capacity is under the process of construction. Apart from that, almost 55,000 megawatt capacity is under the process of bidding.
Now question answer over. No more supplementary, please.
Madam Speaker, a serious breach of privilege has been committed by the local television channels TV 100 News anchor in Rajasthan. Madam, breach of privilege refers to some of the distinct rights that are enjoyed by the legislature in a parliament without which they cannot discharge their functions, and these rights are peculiar to them in India. These privileges origin in the form of Article 105 and 194, which give this privilege to the member of parliament and member of the state legislature respectively.
Honorable members, I am glad to inform you that parliamentary delegation led by H.E. Mr. George J. Puri, Speaker of the Senate, Parliament of Canada, accompanied by H.E. Mr. Muhammad Nasheed, Speaker of the People's Majlis of Maldives, have visited us to witness the functioning our house. We wish them a happy and a fruitful stay in our country. Now let us take up the calling attention motion. Now I call opposition member to call the attention for the Minister for Agriculture.
Honorable Speaker, जमीन जल चुकी है, आसमान बाकी है, सूखे कुएं तुम्हारा इम्तिहान बाकी है। वे जो खेतों की मेड़ों पर उदास पर बैठा है, उनकी आंखों में अब तक ईमान बाकी है। बादल बरस जाना समय पर, इस बार किसी का मकान गिर तो किसी का लगान बाकी है। The new law will are detrimental to our farmer. The contentious report will loosen fruit around the face of those that have protected India farmers free market for decades.
Honorable Speaker, our farmers are mostly small organizations. 68% of them own less than 1 hectare of land. More than half of the farmers don't even have enough to pay private buyers their Indias. Falling into contact of farming has been patchy, working mainly for away communities in immediate provinces.
Honorable Speaker, not surprisingly, for the large number of farmers, incomes are dwindling. According to the 2016 economic survey, the average annual income of a farming family, more than half on India's states, was hardly 20,000 rupees. Provide a guaranteed support prices. Make it a legal right for farmers, and they should be extended to cover a wider range of crops. For long, farmers have sold their crops in 7,000 odd governments regulated wholesale markets or mandis across the country. They are run by committees made up of farmers, often landowners, and traders
his explanation of the new form laws and the motto behind it, to serve the rich cannot undermine the pain of farmers.
Minister for Agriculture, please.
मैडम स्पीकर, हम आराम से बैठकर भी रोज कुछ अलग खाने की गुजारिश करते हैं और किसान जो अपनी मेहनत से देश को खिला रहा है वो सूखी रोटियों में भी तीखा गुजारा करता है। मैडम, freedom is about actual viable choices that you can realize. Don't we need to think on these issues? The farmer who serves is the ultimate sufferer. It is our duty to provide him opportunities to progress and prosper. It is the duty of my government to connect local farmer to global world. Honorable Speaker, the two new forms for agriculture and modified essential commodities Act 1951 for Agro-Foresters Act has been widely acclaimed as historic path-breaking. There was a need for reform in the agricultural policies associated by the liberalization due to video agreement and rising cases of farmer, suicide and agrarian distress.
Honorable Speaker, against the new law, the government provided generous subsidies exception from income tax and crop insurance. More than half of Indians work on farm and they are generated MSP for 23 crops, and yet when they are able to pay off loan. Now, you say that your government will get out of the way and asking us to do with directly big business. They did not demand for this, so why are they doing this to them?
Honorable Speaker, there has been an imbalance between domestic demands and supply. Due to a state of market facilities, the government intervention was either nil or very little in agriculture segment. Thus, through the new farm law, these markets will be liberalized and more favorable to agricultural goods. Finally, I will say that the new farm of produce, trade and commerce, promotion and facilitation Act 2020 will ensure better prices to farmers and a better deal for consumers.
मैडम स्पीकर, किसानों का विकास है देश का विकास, किसानों की उन्नति है देश की प्रगति। किसानों के हित में काम कीजिए, किसानों का जीवन बेहतर बनाए। देश का विकास करेगा किसान जब संपूर्ण बनेगा। आओ हम शुरुआत करें किसानों का आभार करें। The reformers have generated optimism for India to become a global power in agriculture and powerhouse of the global food supply. The reformers carry the seed for farmers, prosperity and transformation of the rural economy. अंत में मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि जब पसीना किसान का बहता है तब जाकर पेट इंसान का भरता है। महोदय, यह भी अपने साथ साथ किसानों भाइयों के लिए भी अनंत संभावनाएं लेकर आया है। निवेदन है कि इस सदन से कि हम सब मिलकर एक उज्जवल भविष्य की उम्मीद करते हैं। अपने अन्नदाताओं को ये बिल पास करके उन्हें सुखमय जीवन प्रदान करता हूँ। जय जवान जय किसान।
मैं इस सदन का ध्यान 1996 में ले जाना चाहता हूँ, जहाँ इस सदन में खड़े होकर राजनीति के विश्व पितामह श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने ऐतिहासिक भाषण दिया था और बोला था, सरकारें आएंगी जाएंगी मगर उसके देश और उसका लोकतंत्र रहना चाहिए। यह बात भारतीय लोकतंत्र में हमेशा गूंजती रहेगी। मुझे लगता है कि सत्ता पक्ष और विपक्ष हम सबको राजनीति से हटकर इस मुद्दे पे एक साथ आना चाहिए और किसानों के हित के लिए सोचना चाहिए।
Now the Honorable Minister of Finance to move the motion calling to introduce the bill.
Madam, I would like to move for leave to introduce the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill 2024.
The question is that we granted to the Minister of Finance to move the motion for leave to introduce the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill 2024. Those in favor will say yes. Yes. Those against it will say no. No. The yes have it. The yes have it. The yes have it. Leave is granted. The minister to introduce the bill.
कहा था कि हम कानून की किताबों के अनुसार समान हो सकते हैं, लेकिन पारिवारिक रूप से हम सामाजिक, राजनीतिक और आर्थिक रूप से विभाजित हैं। I request the honorable friend to request that withdraw the bill under the old and present education system be followed, which is also set up by the stalwarts of educational field, are strongly oppose the bill.
Yes, Mr. Ruin Patil.
Madam Speaker, I rise to support the bill. Madam, my dear Christian friend has just raised an issue. It also concerns handicap rights. The issue is division of country, people and sources in name of language, culture, tradition and development. Education is the backbone of development of the nation. Education unites people and places irrespective of their culture and language differences. The purpose of education is to make individuals acquire social skills.
Madam Speaker, no doubt there may be issues arising with the variation in standards at different levels and in different regions. But my friend does not know that all the regional education boards are guided by the NCERT. NCERT, the apex body at the national level, guides the state by providing a national framework for curriculum development and by building capacities at the state level, both at the elementary and secondary level. Above all, a common foundation curriculum of 1 year would be framed to reach the same standards across the country, covering all levels. This would create a strong base for achieving the uniform education all over the country. One nation, one education.
Madam Speaker, I rise to oppose the bill at the time of independence in 1947. India consisted of 571 disjointed states that were merged together to form 27 states. Madam Speaker, implementation of UEB 2024 would assert the constitutional right and duty of the state and United Territories government to France their own policies and programs or enact laws concerning education as per the needs and aspirations of the people of the state. We oppose the bill claiming to back our rights and education.
मैडम स्पीकर, परिवर्तन प्रकृति का नियम है और इस समय भारत की शिक्षा प्रणाली में बदलाव बहुत जरूरी है। हो गई है पीर पर्वत से पिघलनी चाहिए, इस हिमालय से कोई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए। आज यहाँ दीवार पर्दों की तरह हिलने लगी, शर्त लेकिन थी कि ये बुनियाद हिलनी चाहिए। महोदया, ये वक्त है शिक्षा में बुनियादी बदलाव का। When we have single constitution, single citizenship, unified judiciary, common all India services, financial independence of the state, common taxation structure, then why not uniform education system? Dear friend, Madam Speaker, it united India at that time to raise their voice against the unjust British rule. When all the states follow the design set by the British, then why can't we have common education system all over India for all children of our mother country? Thus, I rise to support the bill. One nation, one education.
Madam Speaker, I rise to oppose the Uniform Education Bill. It is just an unjust rule to implement the bill. It gives ample scope to monopoly for education. Madam Speaker, Indian boards impart immense amounts of information to the student. India has several education boards. Each board has its unique teaching method, learning, curriculum, assessing criteria, and conducting examination.
Committee in education in India and from matters connected therewith or incidental there to be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will say yes. Those who are against it will say no. I think the yes have it, the yes have it, the yes have it. The motion is adopted. Next clause by clause consideration. Now the question is that clause 2 to 8 stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will say yes. Those against will say no. I think the yes have it, the yes have it, the yes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause 2 to 8 stand part of the bill as have. Now the question is that clause I, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say yes. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the yes have it, the yes have it, the yes have it. The motion is adopted. Ministry for Education, please.
Madam Speaker, I move the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor will please जय हिंद, जय भारत। Now everyone stand for the national anthem. National anthem.
जय हिंद